Terry Gannon along with Morgan Pressel and Tom Abbott. Karen Stupples and Jerry Foltz out on the golf course. Play underway. Take you out to play at the fifth. Say hello to Tom Abbott.
Thank you, Terry. NASA down the left side in this split fairway. Her second.
With a big tee shot, only 130 to the hole. That's a 9-iron. Might have just come out of that one a little bit.
Don't want to come up short. That's fine.
All right.
Go ahead to the sixth.
Late troubles in the third round for Jin Young Ko, and right now at 5 under and the most difficult hole on the golf course. Their second shot.
Tricky hole location today too, Terry, on the left. Everything slopes away from the hole right there. Hangs up. She'll be putting back up the hill. Won't be too bad there.
Tough start to her round 2. She bogeyed the first. So it's 13 under. Nasa Hataoka started the day with a 4-shot lead. That's where it is right now, playing in the final pairing with Anna Green, a major champ herself. Nasa looking for a 6th win on the LPGA Tour. Paige Kang, Madeline Sagstrom at 7 under. Sagstrom on a run today. 5 under on the round. Take you out to the short par 3 7th.
It's short today. It's 94 yards. We put the tee all the way over on the right side and forward, and the flag on the far left and at the front. So it's less than 100 yards. Downhill as well.
That's a bit of a mistake there, Tom. That's going to be exceptionally quick.
Yeah, once it gets about 3-4 feet short of the hole, it's going to be quick there. Let's get back over to the fifth. 4-shot lead. 4-shot lead overnight for Hataoka. But the players are, they're coming for her from behind. Some good scores being posted on that leaderboard.
They're not going to be able to catch her if she keeps making birdies.
Right.
She made 2 out of 4, and on number 3, she had about a 12-footer and left it maybe a half of an inch short. So they're going to have to come really strong. She shoots something, even high 60s, Morgan.
Yeah, she definitely built herself up a good lead, and she looks very calm, very relaxed. Just going to keep going about her business. I mean, every day she's played about the same, 3 or 4 under every single day. And the conditions are easier today, Jerry.
Yeah, the wind it's just a breeze, about what it was yesterday afternoon, evening, for at least the back 9 of their round. So it's lighter breeze, warmer conditions, very comfortable out here. What are you if you're from here? Los Angelino, Terry?
Los Angelino.
Los Angelino, they say it's hot. Those of us from other climates say it's just about right. This one's swinging big to the left.
Oh, is it another one? Yeah.
I mean, her putting has just been spectacular all week. And, I mean, Jerry, she keeps doing that. I mean,
you can't beat a leader who doesn't make mistakes, can you?
That's just incredible.
This is at the 9th. Se Young Kim for birdie. Should go right to left. Yeah, well read. Good finish to the front 9. She gets the 6 under par, but trailing by 8. Get back over to Hannah Green. Now, if this is a match play battle, has to make this.
She does, I think, even though it's a shorter putt. Maybe some would consider it tougher because it slides pretty good to the right. This for 3 in a row herself.
Remember what can happen late, though. Here at Wilshire yesterday, that 8th that Jin Young Ko made after being in the Barranca at the 17th hole. She was right there with Nasa Hataoka until that point. This for birdie from just off at 6.
It's putting back up the hill, be a little bit slow. Really good pace. It's tough because then, Terry, not far past that hole location, it goes straight back down the hill towards the front of the green. It's a tricky hole location on 6 today.
Tough hole overall. 7.
Minjee for birdie. What's weird about this hole location, I walked down there, Morgan, is that little hump to the right. It kind of goes uphill for a little bit and then it's straight down. So it's just, you wouldn't expect it. There's that little bump there.
Literally straight down.
Yeah.
It's and it also will push it just a little bit to the left. It's a tough green to read, the front left side of the 7th hole. And it just stops it from breaking right as much as you would think, the way. And look at how fast.
Right, Lilia Vu, this for par at the 6th. Playing along with Jin Young Ko. Gallery making its way in the background. A lot of people out here over the weekend. It was good crowds yesterday, even more today. Good par. And all pars so far. One of the players from UCLA in the field this week. 7.
Shallow Choi has this for birdie. Back up the hill, so this should be an easier putt, Morgan.
Yeah, Tom, definitely an easier putt. Shouldn't have a whole lot of break to it either.
A little bit of breeze there, just whipping down the 7th. Look how short that hole is going to play. 94 yards and downwind and downhill.
Meanwhile, saw them waiting back in the fairway and now ready in B Park for a second here at 6, Karen.
We'll find out what you're feeling here.
Long way to go in for here for Inby, 192. And the wind has been fairly calm most of the morning, and up until about an hour ago, all of a sudden it's just started to pick up a bit, particularly on these last couple of holes. Inby's got a 5 out. One bogey, one birdie on our round today. This one's hanging a little bit out to the right, trying to draw towards the hole.
She did that yesterday too, Karen. Just a little short right on 6 with that fairway wood.
Marina Alex at the 11th. She's put together a good day, 3 under so far, and this is a tough hole, so birdie here would be very impressive. And that is a birdie for Marina Alex.
Heiji Kang now at 6.
That was from 171, and that was a bit of a duffer.
Wow.
Functional.
I think she kind of got away with that, but it sounded heavy to me.
It was very heavy.
I think she's just going to chuckle at that one and say, okay, I'm going to go chip from there now.
Did get away with it, though, to the front edge. Almost, at least. Up 1-7.
And Minjee Lee for the par. Oh, that is frustrating, and it's just too many bogeys today for Minjee Lee. It's 3 bogeys on the card so far. And she's even for the day, which is going in the wrong direction. Let's go back to the tee at 6.
So 4-shot lead to start the day. 3 birdies already, and the lead is now 5 for the player who's won 5 times.
Contrast a little bit of that with no matter how good a start you got off to, you don't get to this tee and think about birdie. This is just such a brutal hole. And Terry, I know you've played here quite a bit. It's the windiest hole on the course, and I don't know why. It's straight into it, and it feels so much stronger than the other holes. Karen mentioned it.
It's just always a long hole and a tough hole.
Starts off at the right side of the fairway, holding that line.
Yeah, hang on.
Oh, wow, just trickles across the cart path there. She's probably going to have some tree trouble, Terry, I would think.
Yeah. See if she has an opening when she gets up there. Keep it here for Hannah Green now. Trying to make a charge. 2 under, had back-to-back birdies at the third and the fourth.
Striking's been so very good this week. Said yesterday that just didn't make many putts, and most of them she missed high by hitting them too firm. Just the opposite of what happened at the previous hole. This one's laced. Nice high draw left center.
Yep, well done there. Advantage on this hole at least. Trying to catch the leader Nasa Hataoka here on a very warm afternoon in LA. Temperature reaching the 80s for the first time this week. Back out at 6. Heiji Kang taking a look at her third from just off the green.
She is, I think, in a lot of circumstances, she might have pulled out a putter here, but she's got a couple of sprinkler heads right in her line. She is farther than the 2 club length distance away from those, so she's going to have to chip up and over them. Inby Park has already putted, but was a really aggressive putt and will be faced with a tricky par putt.
And that will not be easy either. A bit of a bad break with the sprinkler heads, but it wasn't a good shot nonetheless. 7.
Let's see what Jin Young Ko can do on this short hole. Oh, sit down. I don't want to go too far by. But anything above the hole here is just going to leave a putt that can get away from players.
So what, 15 feet or so for NB here, Karen?
I think that's a good estimate on that. Maybe just a smidge less. Not by much though. It was a very aggressive first putt. This putt is now downwind. And there's lots of movement around this whole location in terms of no matter where you are on the green, it's not just a simple straightforward one break. There's a number of different ways this putt is going to move before it goes in the hole.
But if you're in B Park, you just do that.
Notice how I said before it goes in the hole, because
Yeah.
when Inby's putting, it's a safe assumption.
Heck of a save. Remains 6 under. Reminder, you can get connected with the LPGA Women's Network on Facebook, on Instagram at LPGA Women, and on Twitter at LPGA Women's Network. We saw NB Park save par. See if Heiji Kang can do the same here. Same hole.
Slightly different in that Heiji is going to be a lot slower. It's back into the wind, it's back uphill. And the worry is when you have an uphill back into the wind putt is that instead of just putting a normal stroke on it, you are very aware that you have to try and get the ball to the hole. So in trying to do so, there is a little more effort made sometimes through impact, which can affect the path of the putter face, and so the ball maybe doesn't stay quite on your chosen line. It is a battle to keep the tempo right when you're putting uphill into the wind.
It didn't seem to roll very well end over end there, Karen, based on where her line was lined up.
No.
A little bit of side spin, maybe.
Excellent tee shot, but couldn't take advantage. Gonna drop a shot at least.
This is Alison Corpus on the 11th. Rookie from Hawaii. Went to school here in the LA area. That is really good to that whole location today.
Bogey putt for A.G. Kang. All right. Ryan B is as well.
Okay, let's see if Jin Young Ko can get the speed right here.
There's that uphill part, Tom, that you were talking about, that it's just a little bit uphill to start, but you're so defensive because you know once it gets over that crest, straight down the hill.
So back to 6. We'll check out where Nasa Hataoka ended up here. Any clear path?
There's a clear line, but that limb in front of her and the tree just about 10 yards in front of her is so low that she can't keep it under that and comfortably carry the cross bunker 52 yards short of the front of the green. She has to keep it in the air at about 6 feet high for 100 yards and then hope it doesn't run all the way to the houses behind it. But it looks like she's trying to. Otherwise, she just leaves it short and left of the green. Clear line to there with a low punch shot. Yeah, that was just chipping out and didn't go for much there.
No, didn't even come all the way out to the fairway, did it?
No.
She took a pretty big swing, so must not have caught it quite solidly. It looked like she was at least trying to get it out back 100 yards or so.
First bit of trouble for Nasa Hataoka today. In the fairway, setting up for her second, Hannah Green.
Hey guys, hold up.
That's a piercing ball flight. Just left of the flag, turning left. So
the one-handed finish.
Yeah.
She probably didn't like the strike. Quite what she was looking for, and short-sided now.
There's Alison Corpus for the birdie at 11.
Delicate little putt right here. Nicely done.
Well, they're making this hole look easy. Marina Alex just made a birdie here. Corpus has made a birdie. It's certainly not easy if you look at what has happened here with the other players today. This one's not easy. It's going to take a bit of attention for Jin Young Ko. Straight downhill. Oh dear. It's going to keep going as well. It's probably double the length of the putt she had originally.
28. I like that. Yeah. Yeah, yes, maybe a little bit, but with that breeze up there, I like that, and I don't like going at it. Still like putting up at it from the right, which is, you see the tree right of the pin. I like that target. Okay. Wind direction mostly straight into.
you heard Gregor say at 128 he liked the club in her hands. It's a 9-iron. Should be, as the players in caddy say, Morgan, a good number into that breeze. Clean lie. Well, if it's the right club, it's going to be really good. Just left of it.
Was not. Wow. Well short.
Something. I didn't switch. It just gusted.
Now the bogey putt for Jin Young Ko. Oh my word. So she had an 8 yesterday at 17, and she's had a 4-putt double at the 7th today.
Which is 94 yards.
94 yards. Hard to believe from the world #1. Couple of shockers here in LA.
Wow. So here's the lie in the bunker at 6. Third coming up, Hannah Green.
Side hill lie at that. Still into the breeze. Got a flat almost all the way to the hole.
Did that and then some.
Yeah, I thought she'd be able to get more spin on it than that. We've seen a few spin quite nicely this week, but not off that kind of awkward lie, I guess.
That will be no bargain.
See what Heiji Kang can do here at 7.
Had the benefit of watching Imby Park shot.
Yeah, there you go. That's what you're supposed to do here from 94 yards. Good shot. Great chance for birdie now.
And G Lee, chance for birdie at 8. Excuse me, par putt. So going to stay at 4 under. Fourth coming up back at 6 for Nasa Hataoka.
Nothing really difficult about this pitch. Green slopes toward her all the way up till just short of the hole. It levels out where the hole was cut today. But you're all at the mercy of that first bounce. If you play it with any loft, you play it a lot lower, and it's a little more predictable. Looks like she's playing it pretty low. Settle. Just gunned it.
Ouch.
Yeah, almost released the club on that one.
It just gives you an idea. Okay, you're up by 5, but what can happen on any hole here?
Especially the 6th hole. It's been the toughest hole all week, but it's not easy to play with a big lead. And she's gotten off to a good start, but she's gonna have a few bobbles along the way. It's just the nature of this golf course.
All right, what can the great Imby Park do with this 7th green?
I mean, it's interesting when you get up and close, as you were saying, Tom, to where this hole is cut. Nothing is all that simple. It has to move to the right.
Steady. It's just so difficult for these players, or any player, to read. I think the 7th. I'm going to guess that the members have some fits here at the 7th. It's got to be so tough.
As is 6. Lengthy par putt, Hannah Green.
He's only made 3 bogeys all week long. One of them was right here yesterday. That's nowhere near in yet.
Talked about wanting to have a little bit better speed today, Jerry. That one ran that one by a good bit.
This is what you got to do. Just throw it in there below the hole.
It sounds simple, Tom, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, just a short shot, no big deal. I mean, you don't have wind to deal with, or gusts, or bounce, or any of those things. But you're right, if ever there's a spot to putt from, it is this. And this would make a rather pleasant bounce back from the last hole.
Yep. 2 2s on the card for Heiji Kang. She's never finished inside. Well, she's never finished second in an LPGA event, never won either, so could have a career best today.
Bogey putt here at 6 Nasa Hataoka.
Nobody's played more rounds or more tournaments on tour this year than Nasa, but yet no top 10s. And you look at the stats, there's no real glaring reason why, any way you analyze them. I know Karen mentioned it yesterday. She just has a propensity for a big number every now and then, and this is to avoid one here. Part of it is she plays so aggressively by nature.
Did she make another one? She did. I know.
Goodness.
It wasn't for a birdie, but we have just gotten used to seeing that.
What a confident stroke. That was beautiful. Textbook.
Nobody, Terry, is making putts like that regularly out here.
No, I mean, these are not only long putts, but with a lot of break.
Especially left to right ones, which are usually more challenging. Just kept them all perfectly right on her line to start and aggressive through the ball.
It wasn't really dying when it got to the hole. That had a little bit of pace to it.
That was a very confident stroke.
Think about what might have been on this hole for Hannah Green. In the fairway for her second, and now having to make this for bogey.
Yeah, to keep the 5-shot deficit, exactly.
Not able to pick up a stroke, even though Nasa was in trouble in the trees right off the tee. Jump up to 18. Our first look at the finishing hole, the par 3 today. One of the 7 UCLA Bruins in the field. Ryan O'Toole finish up with her 4th birdie of the day. And done. Had 4 bogeys as well, even par 71. Some Bruins fans out there watching her finish up. 13 under after the bogey at 6, but the lead is the same. Warmest day of the week here in Los Angeles. Shadow of the Hollywood sign in the hills. The final round of the DIO Implant LA Open underway. Terry Gannon along with Morgan Pressel. So it's Nasa Hataoka who started the day with a 4-shot lead. I mean, right out of the gate for birdie.
I think this is so important for her here to get off to this kind of a start. give the rest of the field a little bit of a taste of what might be to come.
Just keeps making putts like that. How about the par 3 fourth? 170. How good is that swing?
And going with an 8-iron here is that big 8-iron, maybe a little bit of adrenaline. Lands it perfectly on top of the slope. Lead to another birdie.
Hannah Green trying to keep pace, playing in the final pairing. This for birdie at the fourth.
Hannah starting so far behind, knows that she has to keep pace, at least give it her best effort. Gorgeous stroke there.
Each made a couple of birdies at that point, but here we go again. This at 5, Hataoka to get it to 14 under. I mean, on repeat. Long putt, curling putt.
How big does the hole look to her right now?
Hit greens and then make putts. Little trouble was right off the tee at 6. Tree trouble, played short. This for bogey though. Making these greens look easy at Wilshire Country Club, and they are not. So trying to win for the 6th time. She's 3 of 5 with the lead heading into the final round. And right now it's Hannah Green who's in second and 8 under playing in that final pairing. Some good scores out there today. Detroit 6 under, but can they catch Nasa Hataoka here in Los Angeles? NBC Sports and the LPGA Tour proudly present the season-long race to the CME Globe. From Los Angeles, California, it's final round coverage of the DIO Implant LA Open. Right in the heart of LA. The corner of Beverly and Rossmore. Turns into Vine eventually. Less than 2 miles from here, the Walk of Fame. Bright sunshine today. Temperature in the 80s for the first time all week. A little bit of a breeze, but not a major factor. How about the landscape here, huh? Golf course that dates back to 1919. Gem of LA golf. They play for that. And right now it's Nasa Hataoka who is in control. Terry Gannon, Morgan Pressel in the booth along with Tom Abbott, Karen Stupples, Jerry Foltz on the golf course today. And out to the 7th, Tom.
Yeah, this was a moment ago. Nasa Hataoka with her tee shot.
Going with a lob wedge, just a chip shot of a par 3, downwind, downhill. And Tom, exactly like most of the rest of her shots, looked beautiful the whole time.
Yeah, that's pretty good. So 94 yards today. I mean, look at that green. It's one of the most uniquely shaped greens you'll ever come across. Above the hole, Jerry, it can be very speedy.
Yeah, she hit a little chippy sand wedge. Missed the hole on the fly by maybe 6 inches, but this is a defensive effort.
It's a good chance for a birdie. We've seen plenty of birdies here today, but we have seen players make some mistakes, and the biggest one came from the world number 1, Jin Young Ko. She had a 4-putt double bogey at the 7th from about 10 feet. So it is a green that can be tricky for players. There's no doubt about it. And Nasa's going to put some work into this putt.
She is. It's maybe a little easier putt than the one Hannah Green just had, but certainly not easy. Except right now, as Morgan mentioned, that hole looks so big to her. Morgan, I've seen you many times in the past get a case of a visit from Dr. Drano. It's got to be the best feeling on earth.
Dr. Drano, that's a good one, Jerry.
Never heard that.
Around these greens are not easy. They've got a lot of slope to them, but especially the bigger the break, almost the better the putt Nasa's hitting. She's really seeing the lines incredibly well.
First in the field through 3 rounds in putts per green in regulation. No real surprise there.
This has been a bit of a tricky one.
Yeah.
She's got a bug in her way there, but we've seen players somewhat misread this putt a little bit. Should fall maybe just a fraction to her right.
I think right at the end. That would be a gravitational pull, and you take into the account the trickiness of these greens late in the day.
Yeah.
Walking them in, too.
It's incredible. Just turning on the vacuum cleaner here. I mean, the hoovering up the greens. It's you can't miss. Now Hannah Green's got to think to herself, what can I do?
Get a vacuum. That's a great analogy. Yeah, she's hitting great putts, but it's been 4 straight days of that. She just hasn't seen that many drop. She's second in greens in regulation for the week starting the day. But you got somebody who's making everything who was 4th playing alongside you.
3 for Hannah Green. Win earlier this year down in Australia before she came back to the LPGA Tour. So she's been in some good form, but it is nothing right now to catch Nasa Hataoka. But while we have a moment, let's go up to the booth.
All right, Tom. Sizable lead, to say the least, here in the final round in L.A. for Nasa Hataoka, who Morgan's a proven winner. She's won 5 times out here and has played very well with the lead. This is the 6th time she's had the lead going into the final round. She's won 3 of the previous 5 and is not playing defensive at all. I mean, she's out there just playing golf, making putts.
And quite a few of those wins have been with large leads, 2 of them by 6, 1 of them by 3. Yeah. So she's comfortable playing with the lead. And she just went out. I think her goal to go out today was, how far can I extend the lead? That's what I would have gone into the day thinking, and that's certainly how she's acting, or how she's playing so far to start the day. Her putter is just absolutely lights hot. I have been admiring her stroke all week. It is absolutely flawless. And if she keeps putting like that, nobody can beat her.
We do know what can happen on this golf course, though, especially on the back 9. If you were watching yesterday, Jin Young Ko, the #1 player in the world, dominant player, made 8 at 17, the Barranca that runs through the property. So a lot can happen here. But if you're a chaser right now, it's got to be a bit demoralizing to look up at the leaderboard. Every time you make a putt, start to make a run, there's another birdie from Nasa.
And that can get exhausting for Hannah Green, playing alongside Nasa, being her closest chaser at the moment, knowing that she's got quite a hole, but it's nothing that she's done to dig the hole. It's Nasa has just played spectacular golf, and she just might need a little bit of help from Nasa.
371-yard par 4 here.
How aggressive, though, going with driver here when so many players of her length just hit fairway wood down there, and that is striped.
She's an aggressive player by nature, Jerry, and I don't know. I think with how do you play with the 6-shot lead?
You would know better than I.
I don't know that I know how to play with a 6-shot lead either, but I know it's not that easy. But I don't think playing defensively does any good. Play with how you've been playing all week.
I think that's a great point. I know, Terry, you can use the basketball analogy on that. That's a beauty from Hannah there. Yeah, prevent defense just prevents you from winning, doesn't it?
Pretty much. Wow. Some display of golf so far from Nasa Hataoka. He's won 6 times in Japan. He's won 5 times on the LPGA Tour. Looking for a 6th win here today. Well, great to have the DIO Implant as a new sponsor this year on the LPGA Tour. Earlier this week, their CEO expressed excitement about the event in LA and their global headquarters in Busan, Korea.
This is Jin Cho Kim, chairman of DIO, which is an international manufacturer of dental devices. DIO, as the leader of digital dentistry, is proud to sponsor the LPGA tournament in LA, the great city of angels. I hope all players perform at their best, and I hope you enjoy watching the outstanding skills of the world's top players. We ask for your continuous support of DIO Implant and the LPGA Tour.
감사합니다.
I was going to hammer you on that, but a moment ago, Hannah Green at the 8th.
131 down breeze, should be able to spin it plenty to get it close. Solid sounding shot, a little right though.
Right level.
This is the 15th hole. They moved the tee up today, so it's reachable. Madeline Sagstrom's having a good round. She's 5 under.
Yes.
And that one's going to bound on down there. So she'll be able to go at the green in 2. At the 9th, Jin Young Ko trying to repair some of the damage.
It's your call. I mean, if you feel like you can get that there, I'm okay with it. You good?
92, huh?
Your front number is 92, correct. Okay? All right. Pretty much straight down.
32 yards ahead of Hannah Green with this aggressive driver. 99 to the hole. And signal was the lob wedge. This should be a full swing. I think it's 58-degree lob wedge.
Full swing, Jerry, so she could get as much spin as possible on
Still
it.
needs to go. Oh, that's not. Nice bounce.
It did. Hitting greens, making putts. Pretty good combination. Usually works. Hannah Green trying to win for the first time since 2019. This for birdie at 8.
Little touchy downhill, turning slightly left. She missed it early.
Not a bad backdrop. Nasa oblivious to all of that, just focused and keeps making putts. Wouldn't wager against this.
No, and again, it's not an easy putt, but I don't think she knows what a hard putt is right now. 4 consecutive one putts, none of them easy. 5 for the day. Missed the cut last week, her only missed cut of the season. Remember, she hasn't had any top 10s yet, but her only missed cut of the season. Wasn't hitting it good at all early in the week. Didn't expect to be in this position. And then that mythical and magical click. So the light came on Wednesday on the practice tee, and she has just taken every advantage of it. Confidence is, I don't think I've ever seen it this high.
She said she had another one of those moments 2 days ago while on the golf course. It just all came together. Defensive with that.
Yeah, it just looked like read it a little bit too high, but it was a good stroke. Looked like it was right where she wanted it to go, and just have to realize that she did what she was trying to do.
Lead is still 6. Mentioned it. 6th time that she's had the lead heading to the final round. Some have been 54-hole leads. Some have been 54-hole events, but 3 of 5, not bad. And planning on closing this one out too. To the 9th.
Heiji Kang has a birdie putt here.
And this one's going to be slow, Tom. Back up the hill. It's going to break to the right as well. But not only do you have the, the overriding sort of uphill, moving to the rightness of this putt, there are some little subtleties along the way that can cause the perfect uphill left to right putt to do some strange things in the middle. Very difficult to read.
Just all about getting the right pace here.
Steady. El Royale, the condo building there. It's had some famous residents over the years, so I'm told. Mae West lived in there. So did Cameron Diaz. Nicolas Cage apparently had a place in there at one time. Terry Gannon.
No.
Oh, okay. Hataoka.
Can't see much more than that sign. Breeze from the left and helping. Don't even have to watch it. So easy to 4 caddy for her right now. They're just barely missing the center stripe.
Yeah, won't be able to see where it finishes. Hit it over the hill. There's a Hollywood sign on the left, the famous story that Hogan played here for the first time, and caddy said aim at the sign, and he said which letter. But the tee apparently was a lot further to the right, and it was Hollywood land in those days, so it was a bit wider. So you can see why he would say which letter.
It's something you would say.
Yeah, which letter? Now it's which letter in El Royale, Jerry.
A much smaller sign. Which E? That one's up the right side, and Wynn's got it. Maybe missing the fairway.
He is going to miss the fairway. And not a great angle with the flag on the right side of the green. Nasa Hataoka with a commanding lead here. Trying to win for the 6th time on the LPGA Tour. It's a gorgeous day here in Los Angeles.
Today's coverage is brought to you by leading digital dentistry, DIO Implant. And by CME Group, where risk meets opportunity.
Back at the 9th. It's one of those awkward length putts on any golf course, but especially here later in the day on the Poa greens. It'll be a bogey for Heiji Kang, who's 120th in the race to the CME Globe coming into this week. Right now projected, even with that bogey, to move up to 42nd. So a really important week for Heiji Kang and an important rest of the day. Sagström second to here. This is delicate, Morgan.
That was a tough place to miss it, but I think we'll see quite a few people back there today on 15 with the whole location. That's a reasonable effort. I saw Yuka Sasso from over there earlier today hit it to about a foot, but that was absolutely spectacular.
It's 5 o'clock. Sorry, 7 o'clock. 7 o'clock. Still, please, guys.
.146 cannot, it's a blind shot, cannot see even the top of the flagstick, aiming a tree behind it. Could have a little bit of trouble getting enough spin on it to get this thing to stop, because if it goes at the flagstick, it's landing on a downslope.
Probably want to hit it up the neck of the green.
Oh.
What a fantastic shot that was.
I thought that was going to kick further left, but it worked out very well.
40, right?
Mm-hmm. She's left herself in a good place to putt from, too, Tom.
Now Nasa.
Take a lot off it, maybe a little bit.
Playing 35?
The spot that we're trying to land it,
Yeah.
the 40 spot, playing just under 35. Or about 33. Okay?
Yes.
Wind direction's right behind you, maybe a little bit off your left.
Calculating that help, 146-yard shot. She's trying to hit a 133-yard 9-iron.
Shit. Go. Go.
Well, the flag is on 12, so she's hit that 134.5 yards. Pretty close to 133.
Doesn't count, though.
Whatever.
Nasa Hatoka just came up a little bit shy here at the 9th. It still has a putt for a birdie.
Up the hill gently the whole way. Not a ton of break. This green looks like it slopes so much from right to left, but that's mostly on the left side of the green. This right side, it'll still turn slightly left, but it's not going to be a bunch.
I talked to her short game coach, Gareth Raflewski, earlier today. He said that they've been working a lot on her routine, more looking out at the hole instead of being focused on the golf ball, trying to be a little bit more of an artist almost, which I think we've seen so far today, or all week with her putting.
Stacey Lewis on the way for birdie at 18.
It's just when you think you have a good chance at birdie and you get a little bit too aggressive out here at Wilshire.
Sagstrom to get it to 8 under par and into a tie for second. That was Sagstrom to get into a tie for second alongside this player, Hannah Green, who's now got a chance for birdie at 9.
Not going to get much easier looking putts from this distance on this course. Just gently uphill, hardly any break.
He's trying to wander offline a little bit. It's a good birdie at the 9th for Hannah Green, and then moves her to within 5. Sagstrom still has to clean up here for par at the 15th, trying to set that target in the clubhouse. And it's going to be a good day, even if she were to par in. She's going to look for a couple more birdies. Now Nasa, did she have to move her mark for Hannah Green?
She did indeed, yeah. She's definitely, Morgan, staying with that routine. Even on short ones where she would know the line. Just doing all the same motions. The sports psychologists tell us all the time that when you're under pressure, those are the things that you can rely on and take your mind off of the outcome.
Focus on the process and not on the result.
That sounds so easy. It's not.
It's much easier said than done, Jerry. No question. Definitely giving this one her full attention.
I like her odds.
Yeah. That's a good outward 9 for Nasa.
The flag was like this, and it was like this, and then
And the wind may be tough to read on that back 9.
Inbee Park setting up at the 10th for her second, Karen.
It's got 123 and just managed to for her ball to stay on the fairway, but feet are in the rough, so therefore ball is slightly below feet. This is a 9-iron.
How's the wind out there, Karen?
Doesn't feel too bad on this hole right now. Feels like it's dropped a bit.
This hole's been pretty good into the wind all week.
Yep, I think it's up there. It's just we're sheltered here.
Inbee even par for the day. Outward 9. Up to 12. You let me know. This to get it to 4 under. 20-year-old from the Bay Area. Just like that. Making it look easy. See the scorecard. Go back to 3. See that circle? Well, it wasn't the normal way. Penalty area. No putter needed.
Looked like a birdie all the way, Terry.
Sure. They went second, but ended up a birdie. Heiji Kang now at the 10th or second.
She has 117, also using an iron. And Morgan, you were asking me about the wind. It's now just picked up just a little bit. When Inbee was playing, it was had a little lull. But it's trying to gust a bit from the left, slightly into.
Hole location only 4 paces on today. Just want to land something right about hole high. A little bit deep. That's going to be a quick putt there for Heiji.
That'll be a challenge there. So the wind is a factor. Day 2 was really the worst of wind in the afternoon, but yesterday late laid down a bit. Today it is warm. Shadow of Hollywood. 9 holes out of the way. Anna Green at 9 under, chasing down Nasa Hataoka.
Into that freshening breeze. Well, that's just ideal line.
All right, so now Nasa Hataoka at 14 under. Get the ball flight. Look from Top Tracer Technology here. Missed one fairway today. What happened?
Well, she hit it in the trees on the 6th hole. But other than that,
how did that happen?
Her driver's been pretty solid, Jerry.
Yes, it has. It's got to be a good feeling. Not only when you're making pretty much everything you're looking at that's makeable, but when you get that click, that light bulb coming on early in the week, and everything just falls into place.
All right, back in the fairway now. So up on the green or just off of it. NB parked this to get to 7 under.
It's going to be a little bit bumpy running through the fringe, but then it should run smoothly on the green.
And the right line. Should be a par here at 10 for NB. As we remind you, registration for the 2022-23 drive, chip, and putt qualifying is now open. Register your child today. He or she could be the next national champ. Join in on the fun. Go to drivechipandputt.com to get started now. This left for par for NB Park.
Straightforward for NB here. Yeah, smooth stroke. Said she was working on her rhythm with the putting. What's been the difference for her?
Meanwhile, Madeline Sackstrom on the edge here at 16 to get it to 8 under.
A great spot to putt from here. Really straight up the hill.
Really good day, though. Back-to-back birdies at 3 and 4, made 3 in a row, 8, 9, and 10. Hasn't made a bogey yet today, and right now in 3rd place all by herself. But it is Nasa Hataoka who is firmly in control. Guys, met Greg. If you fairway at the 10th, the second for Nasa Hataoka.
126 into that increasing breeze, 9-iron. Last 2 times she's hit it, it's come up short of the green. This one is ballooning into the wind as well.
Yeah, that's a big mistake there, Jerry. We saw Greg kind of a little bit confused there on the last hole.
That was just 100 for Hannah Green. That was a kind of a fanned wedge shot.
Not fully committed, or
Yeah, it just looked like she just got a little bit ahead of it on that one.
Check in with Jin Young Ko and her third at 11. Oh, did she? Yes. Well, it's been a bit of an up and down last 24 hours for Jin Young Ko. Yeah, there you go. Normal service is resumed.
up to 18, the par 3, 157 today, this finishing hole. Hye-Jin Choi ready.
She's an impressive young rookie, Terry. Already had quite a few good starts this year.
Good line right here. Not going to quite get there if you do make an ace here. It's a $100,000 prize, courtesy of CBB Bank. All right, check in on the Epson Tour, the road to the LPGA, as you know. Finish in the top 10, earn a card out here on the LPGA Tour this week. They're in Utah, the 5th of 21 events this season. Ardina firing a bogey-free 7 under 65 to come from 5 back to win it and jump all the way to 4th on that list. Back out at 10. Hataoka in the bunker, Jerry.
Yes, and the way that ball came down, I thought for sure it was going to plug. It didn't. It just released out of the ball mark. And fortunately for Nasa, it's a nice uphill lie. This is not a tough bunker shot for a highly trained professional. Toughest part is you're probably going to get a face full of sand.
Yeah, this would be bread and butter shot right here, Jerry. Just open the face, pop something up, land it probably fairly close to the hole.
Yeah, if you do that, it's going to be spinning. If you chunk it a little, it's going to hit a downslope. It's a hard one to not give yourself a good chance for par.
Morgan, it all looks easy right now.
She's definitely making it look easy. Even a couple of the bobbles that she's had, bogey on 6, made a great putt for bogey, and here missing this green short, a little bit of a club decision error here. Just textbook bunker shot. Like Jerry said, I mean, it wasn't that hard, but she still just executed under the pressure that she's under with the 5-shot lead.
Inchi Lee to get it to 5 under at the 12th. Good birdie there. They all are, but 12 hadn't been easy.
Only 5 birdies all day on the 12th hole.
Yeah, not an easy par 3. 172 today. And a green now for birdie at 10.
Coming across almost the entire length of this, the flattest part of this 10th green. A lot of slope from back to front, but that hole's place today kind of levels out. So turning a little left, but not a ton. Get there. Yep, barely. Good putt.
Yeah, good effort. She almost has to feel like she might have to start pressing a little bit. She wants to catch Nasa.
This is the 11th from the second shot here for Hye-Ji Kang.
He's got 141. She's got a 9-iron out. Some helping wind, back left hole location. With this downwind, really difficult to sort of take that flag on. I think you have to play a little bit out to the right here, even with a short iron.
It looks like Inby's ball out there is a perfect target. Well done, smart play.
Go back to 10.
Par putt coming up for the leader.
3 feet, right center putt with any kind of conviction at all. But full routine, as always.
Yeah, I love that she's working on not getting stuck over the ball, Jerry, paying a little bit more attention to the hole. Probably more important on longer putts, but just really relies on a lot of feel.
It's feeling good right now.
Mentioned Hannah Green, but how aggressive can you get on this golf course?
We've seen what happens when you get a little too aggressive around Wilshire.
Hye-Jin Choi, good tee shot into 18. No. Yeah, that's a problem coming down the stretch. We saw yesterday what can happen to the best player in the world. You get aggressive here.
Yeah, and you know who also had a front seat to that was Hannah.
You're right.
She had a front seat to that, and she knows what can happen here coming down the stretch.
Really good final round, though. 66 for Choi. And right now, a share of 4th place. 2-11.
Hannah Green should be first to go here. It's a pretty wide fairway, but there's a little bit of danger out there. They might just be waiting for another group to walk over to the 14th tee. It's a bit of a junction there on the golf course.
Yeah, they're maybe 15 yards apart, the 2 tee boxes. They're going to let Hannah go first, then Doherty will play 14, and so on.
You know, Jerry, we're coming down to a stretch right here where 4 of the 5 hardest holes in the golf course are from here to the clubhouse.
So for Hannah Green, hit some quality shots, make a couple birdies, and you might have your best chance. If Nasa stumbles a little, that was beautifully played.
She's driving it really well today.
Here's one of those difficult holes, the 17th. This is Madeline Sagstrom's second. Looking for the round of the day is Madeline, and has given herself a chance there for a birdie. Currently in 3rd on her own. And now back over to the tee at the 11th and Hataoka.
Interesting that Hannah goes with driver, and the always aggressive Nasa Hataoka is clubbing back a little here.
And there is a little bit of a run out there on the left, Jerry. It just widens the fairway just a touch by going with the fairway wood.
Wow. She could have been hitting it down a cart path, and that would have found it. So perfectly straight.
Let's go up to the green on this par 4, and Heiji Kang for the birdie.
This one's going to be a little bit uphill, Tom. I think Heiji got some good confidence from last week in Hawaii, and she played well the first couple of days, but couldn't finish it off.
Yeah, it's not been a great season for Heiji Kang, so it was important to make the weekend there in Hawaii, or Friday, Saturday as it was last week. Hataoka with a 5-shot lead.
Today's coverage is brought to you by leading digital dentistry, DIO Implant, by Win Grips, the best grips in golf, and by the Epson Tour, Road to the LPGA.
back at the 11th with Heiji Kang for par.
A little bit of a testy distance here, Tom.
It's a couple of short ones she's missed now in the last few holes. When she missed one at 9.
Her stroke, Tom, just hasn't really looked that confident. She's almost decelerating a little bit through the ball.
Birdie putt for Madeline Sagstrom. Looking for her best finish since a runner-up at Carnoustie last year in the AIG Women's Open. Shot 68 in the final round there. Just a little low. Don't want to go too far by.
Second for Jin Young Ko at the par 3 12th. Just the green right. Beautiful touch.
Nasser at the 11th.
If you're trying to land something 54, it's playing about 50 right now. This breeze isn't right behind us like it was. It's almost left to right.
7, right?
Yeah. Let's keep our eye on it though, because it is coming. If it's
line at the bunker.
Yes. Yes. It's not going to move it much left to right. So it's not a full one of those though, right? Okay.
Overall number 165 the hole, as Greg mentioned. Wind out of the left should be a little help, but it can't feel it right now. Feels straight across the fairway, as he said. This is 7-iron, and not a big one, but you can get something close to this hole. It's not easy. The way she's hitting it, I wouldn't put it past her. This is hanging out to the right center of the green.
I'll have a lot of break to it and be a little bit quick, but it's not the end of the world. It's a little bit of a safe play.
Now the par for Sagstrom bogey free today. And remains that way. It's been a good round of golf.
The wagon needs to be almost 30 feet.
Yeah, I think just 9-9 finishing on the tree.
Yeah, it's perfect. It's a little one, yeah?
Yeah.
9-iron finishing on the tree, which from her angle is 3 feet right of the hole. 137 is a number, should be a good number.
Jerry Karen mentioned yesterday how she hadn't seen her family in a long time due to COVID. She hadn't seen her coach very much either, Richie Smith. And had the opportunity to work together at Chevron, but seems whatever they were working on seems to be working for her this week.
Anna Green, second on her own, chasing this lady, Hataoka. 11th. And Nasa Hataoka with that tough one that Morgan was talking about. This for birdie.
Big hop early. That's going to miss low. And not bad at all.
Good speed there.
Yeah, that's one that could have easily gotten away from her, Jerry. That was very well managed.
Madeline Sagstrom on the tee. Last hole, par 3 18th.
Such a narrow target back here on 18, only about 8 yards wide. That's just one club short.
It's bogey free, but it'll be a challenge here. Drop back to 11.
And Hannah Green.
Line not too dissimilar here. Probably learned a little from Nasa's. Didn't really dive left like I would have thought. Good opportunity, but it's got to go. Has to do something to just make Nasa feel any pressure. Hardly turned at all.
Yeah, I mean, you called it there, Jerry. Just didn't break.
It's a 4. She was asked if she were to win today, whether she would do the shoey. You know about the shoey? Where you drink out of your shoe?
I do.
I'm not quite sure why you would do that, personally. But she said, my shoes, they're 6 weeks old. So, no.
So that'd be a no.
No
Yeah.
shoey. Have you ever done a shoey, Jerry?
Well, she did it after she won earlier this year in
Right.
Australia.
Did Daniel Ricciardo, the F1 driver, did he come up with that? Or was that an ancient thing in Australian sports culture? I don't know. Send us your answers on social media.
Chances are Jerry has.
Yeah.
I think I have.
So, trying to win for the first time since 2021 in the Walmart Northwest Arkansas Championship. She started the final round tied with Minjee Lee at 12 under. This on the tee at 11. She had made a hole-in-one on that hole in the opening round. Had the look, for a moment at least. Make that, just cruise to the end. Par, 16 under. So 3 rounds in the 60s, 2-shot win over Woo-Hee Ji and Minjee Lee. 5th career LPGA win and her 2nd that season, and looking to close it out on the back 9 here at Wilshire Country Club today. So head to 12 and in-B through the shadows for birdie.
Bit of a risky tee shot to end up below the hole here. Just landed on the front edge and it rolled up. Gives her a good chance here though.
Had the early one. I think she gave up on it, didn't she?
It looked like she did not think that ball was going in the hole, and it just wiggled back enough to the left.
That was not the early I made it walk. 2nd at 18, Sagstrom bunker.
Pretty straightforward bunker shot. Doesn't look like it's raked all of that well.
Gallery liked it. And made that complete bogey-free round.
I still like that, but I like the 3/4.
Hannah Green setting up back on the tee at the par 3 12.
Hole placed only about 5 yards over that false front that angles from front right to middle left. Easy to catch that and come up short of the green. Breeze shouldn't be helping from this angle much at all.
This is a position where Hannah's first to play. Needs to hit something good right here.
Just right of the hole, depending on the number. That's a good shot.
Yeah, it's about that time. You have any chance to catch Nasa Hataoka. You got to start to make a move here. Got a par 5 next, perhaps pick one up there, and then a short par 4. 14, just 314 yards today. So 172 yards for the leader. Check out the ball flight with our top tracer technology.
We're going one less club than Hannah Green, a little bit more powerful player. Wind is gusting now, and that does actually feel like there's some help in it.
You mentioned on the last hole, Hannah needing to do something to put some pressure on NASA. We just saw the highlight package from the Walmart Northwest Arkansas Championship, where she admitted after Sunday's round how nervous she got coming down the stretch when it was tight. Here she's got a big lead.
Yeah, I just got to play mistake-free, which means no big numbers. Get this on the green. Comfortably 2-putt, which isn't a problem for her today. That's well done.
Job done.
So the 23-year-old from Japan, very much in control at this point, and hitting greens, making putts, keep it in the fairway, trying to put it on cruise control from this point forward for her 6th win on tour. Los Angeles. Special thanks to Dave Tucker, the tournament director. Brian Sullivan does such a great job. Here's the director of agronomy and the longtime head pro, the director of golf, Rick Riley at Wilshire. A place that's been around for more than 100 years. Out to 12, Nasa Hataoka with a birdie try coming up.
Yeah, a little bit tricky, slightly downhill and a bit of a curler to the left.
And this was where yesterday she three-putted, a little poor pace on her first putt. Let's see if she can get it right here.
She marks. We go up to 18. Par putt, Madeline Sagstrom. One heck of a round. 66 after the 70 yesterday, and right now in a share of third. See if Hannah Green can make birdie pick up a shot.
Once again, recipient of a pretty decent read from her fellow competitor. She needs it.
Played well, is 2 under on the round, but obviously so has the leader.
Yeah, she's had more total putts than any of the people played in the last, what, 5 or 6 groups this week, but she's also hit more greens than anybody but one player. Well, it was a good effort. And once again, what she did all day yesterday, she said too hard on the high line, and that is, well, that's 6 feet past.
But that's what we're talking about. As soon as you say, okay, I'm going to be aggressive now because I have got to chase down the leader, now you're left with this.
There's a very fine balance around this golf course of what you can and cannot be aggressive with. And it's hard to not have that mentality, Jerry, when you're in Hannah's position.
Yeah, totally agree. But Terry makes a great point, too. As you've mentioned all week, you can't force it around here. You have to take what the course gives you, and it's a pretty stingy course in that regard. It is a ball striker's paradise, and you see that year in and year out when the LPGA competes here. It's the ones who are hitting the most fairways and definitely the ones hitting the most greens who we're covering on Sunday.
Yeah, and it's almost not even hitting the most greens, Jerry. It's who's hitting it in the right section of the greens.
It's not always the longest player. It's not always the best putter here. It's just ball striking. And that is, well, for those of us of a certain generation, the way we were raised, that golf was supposed to be. Good save.
Fantastic save. That was a very important putt right there. She wants to stay as close as possible to Nasa.
Nasa with a par putt still remaining. Get connected with LPGA USGA Girls Golf on Facebook, on Instagram at Girls Golf, and on Twitter at LPGA Girls Golf. This much left for par. So a par 5 next.
Just needs to keep doing that, Terry.
This is at the 15th. This is an eagle putt here for Se-Young Kim.
She made a bomb here. What was that, in the second round, Tom?
It was indeed.
All the way across the green.
I'll tell you what, we've got some great production staff with us, led by our producer Jesse West, because here it is, exactly what you were talking about. The long eagle putt at the 15th on Friday, across the green. One of 2 eagles in the round for Se-Young Kim. Ended up shooting 72. It was a real mixed day for her.
Brian Hennessy doesn't get mentioned.
Brian Hembo Hennessy.
Yeah.
We just mentioned him. So there
Okay,
you go. He'll be happy now.
All right.
Yeah, he'll be happy now.
Make sure.
Got mentioned twice.
Hannah Green on the tee at 13.
Tee back again today, making it not impossible, but highly unlikely. Many players get home in 2.
Yeah, not going to happen from down there, Jerry.
No.
Figure the wind into off the right.
It's going to be a 3-shot hole. You have miles left. You don't feel the breeze that you did on the last 2 holes right now on this tee. Pretty well protected back there. But it would be from the right. There is OB right of the fairway. That'd be a rather large miss. Yep, that'll work.
She's just in such control of her swing right now, Jerry.
It is literally within a step of that mowing line down the middle of the fairway almost every time.
Very impressive performance from Nasa Hataoka. It's a little bit of a drive out to the beach, but it'll be a fabulous place to be today.
By the way, going to break.
13th, Heiji Kang for birdie.
Played a really nice little pitch. I mean, she shook her head in disappointment when she hit it, but set up this lovely chance here.
Yeah, that is valuable for Heiji. We talked about a little earlier. 120th in the race to the CME Globe coming in. Good performance here will go a long way for Heiji Kang. Back down the fairway at the par 5 13th with the leader of the DIO Implant LA Open, Nasa Hataoka.
Well, we've got a 242 front, 270 the hole wind from the right. I don't think there's any help in it unless she hits a rope. But she's staying aggressive, going to a 3-wood. That could bring the front greenside bunkers into play.
I don't know if she gets it into the front greenside bunker. It's the end of the world. Leave with a bit of a long shot, but I don't know if she can quite get there, Jerry.
If it does anything, it's going to hit the left bunker if it gets there.
It's going to be
not the best angle to that pitch shot.
Just short and short-sighted.
This is the problem when you miss it left at 13. This is Hannah Green.
So we got 223 to the front, but I don't think that lie is good enough to get a lot of stick on it. She didn't even try. That's going to be a nice angle for a wedge shot.
Yeah, sensible golf there from a major champion at the KPMG Women's PGA. Looking towards downtown LA here. We're at the LA Open. Hataoka leading.
funny.
Hannah Green here.
Really good chance to get one close lob wedge, 62 yards. Clip it, one hop and stop.
Down, well, a couple of hops, but it's given a good chance of birdie.
Really good.
Nasa's going to have a tricky or more difficult shot coming up, and she's going to walk all the way up there to get a good look.
Yeah, I don't think she can take it at the flagstick. I think the line, she was walking right there. Well, I don't know what to expect.
She is an aggressive player, Jerry.
This is a downhill, side hill lie in the fairway, though. And as you said, short-sided. Now, if you clip it properly, it will spin, but you're going to have a margin of error of maybe 3 or 4 yards to land it in to keep from going over the green or in the bunker.
Well, when I was talking to Gareth Raflewski earlier today, he said that they worked a lot at Chevron on her wedge control. So let's see if she can dial it in here.
Doesn't need to be aggressive though. That's I think the key, Jerry. I mean, don't need to force a mistake.
This has to have so much spin on it. She takes it at the flagstick from that downhill lie on such a short shot. Right, I think right about where she wanted it. That perfectly hole high.
Smart play.
The key shot. Let's take a look at some of the key holes coming up here at Wilshire, presented by the Golf Course Superintendents Association of America. Morgan.
Yeah, this 14th hole is a fun, short little par 4. There's a bunker right out there. It's about 230 yards. Most players clubbing back, but it's definitely a birdie opportunity. The whole location today is in the very back right. There is a lot of trouble long on both sides of this hole. Players just looking to put it in the center of the back section of that green to give themselves the best look at birdie. Now, 17 has played as the second toughest hole all week. It is an unusually crowned fairway. Players looking to aim right about at the corner of the clubhouse in the distance. The green is exceptionally narrow. There you can certainly see the Barranca comes into play both off the tee and on both sides of the second shot around this green. Hole location today, 5 paces off the right, probably the easiest hole location of the week, but everything wanting you to play it up close to the Barranca on the left side. Now the 18th hole is a fun little par 3, very unusual green, and there's only about 8 paces wide where that hole location is today. It's a very narrow target, and it's crowned on both sides.
Back to 14, that short par 4, Inbee Park second.
She has 109. This is a wedge back into the wind.
Right at it. Chance for NB. Pick one up there.
Nasa with her birdie try here at 13.
Very flat putt, minimal break.
Putted so well in the early part of the round, couldn't miss. But, now you got to think parring in is going to be good enough.
And she just keeps doing what she has to do, playing smart, giving herself birdie chances, but not making it too challenging on herself out there.
Up 1 to 14, the second for Heiji Kang.
This from 99 yards, had the blueprint from Inbee Park shot. Covered it pretty adjacently.
Mm-hmm.
Now Hannah Green to try and eat into that lead.
Almost exact opposite side of the hole.
Oh no.
That was the worst putt we've seen Hannah make today. Just a little bit of a pull there, Jerry, and maybe a bit of a misread as well. Not committed to the line that she chose.
2 excellent approach shots here at 14. Heiji Kang, first of the 2, in for birdie.
That was a better looking stroke there from Heiji, Karen.
It was, and I think, you know, it's just so difficult. You cannot be perfect out here on these greens, and you know, as we've been saying, Tom was mentioning it too, how important it is for her to have a good result here this week. The reshuffle coming up not too long from now. It's just important to keep moving up on that money list as much as you can and try and save as many shots as you can. I think she got, as I said, confidence from Hawaii. That helps.
Be rethinking this now?
Yeah, just getting caddy in just to.
She takes a look at that. We take you back to the tee and Hannah Green. It was a key miss on the last.
Yeah, there's been a few the last few holes. Said you've been hitting 3-wood all week here at that center bunker. Yesterday I got really close to it. Today it shouldn't because it's dead into it again. And it's picking up right now. Yeah, it's going to be plenty safe. Center of the fairway.
Reality is, no matter how well she's swinging the golf club, got to start making some putts here to have any chance. 6 miles away from the downtown area here in LA. And a 5-shot lead for NASA.
Looks like 3-wood there. That little pre-shot routine to release tension, as she says, anxiety. There were a couple of, let's just call them older gentlemen earlier, Terry, for about 3 or 4 holes. Every time she would do it, they were doing it. It was quite cute.
Pull a hammy.
Yeah, that's getting boring off the tee.
Love that when you're up by 5.
No kidding.
Oh, hang on.
I don't know how boring.
Hang on.
That was a. They're going to be shocked when they get up there and that gets into that bunker, because that was not what they were trying to do.
Wow.
I don't know if that was adrenaline or what.
Yeah. Park finally ready. Yep. In the end, it was the right read. Executed that. 3 birdies and a bogey today for NB Park. There you go. This is just for you, Morgan.
Love the doggies. I love the.
In the fairway at 14 for her second, Hannah Green.
Based on where this ball ended up, that was definitely less than 3-wood off the tee and the height with which it had flying. 118 to the hole. And this is a really good opportunity with NASA. Likely going to struggle to have a good chance at par, and that's pulled a little.
Looks like she was trying to control something in there, Jerry. A little bit of a three-quarter swing, but she knew she saw a little bit of an opening for sure. Not able to take advantage of it at the moment.
So you think NASA definitely surprised this ball got all the way to the bunker?
I don't think it crossed their mind. I mean, it was low and it was really hit, but I think Morgan's right. There was some adrenaline there. It's just the way she's swinging right now. Downhill lie, huge lip in front of her, and maybe she has to get pretty abrupt with the backswing. I think this is just hit it like a bunker shot, explode it, and see how close you can get it to the green.
That's what it looks like from here, Jerry. Is she trying to be more aggressive than that?
It should be highly improbable of pulling this off if she were trying to pick it clean. She got a lot of ball there. That's incredible. Pulled it, but
wow.
That
wow.
I would never in a million years have guessed you could do that.
Okay, this is one aggressive, but she pulled it off in this position to try and pick this clean. Look at how high that lip is in front of her. She clears it with no problem. Back foot out of the bunker with nothing but trouble in front of her. That was spectacular.
Just a moment to go at the 15th. Chella Choi for an eagle. And the orange golf ball snuggles in there for the 3. That's a third eagle of the day here at 15, so it shows you what is possible. Now on the tee, Imby Park.
Imby not the longest of drivers, but if she can get one tumbling down this fairway, she might leave herself an opportunity. Still downwind, and that will tumble. I'm not so sure that's a gopher, but we shall see.
Over to the 18th.
Up and down day for Angel Yin. Trying to finish up with a birdie. And good. 23-year-old who's born right here in LA. One over for the final round. Back to that final pairing at 14. Still taking in that. Just even, I think right now she's just put her head down and is playing golf.
Well, we talked about it a little bit earlier. She's honestly doing what how she would normally play,
right?
Whether she had a 5-shot lead or not,
right?
She's just going about her business. She would have hit that same shot on a Thursday, don't you think, Jerry?
I'm shaking my head. I mean, I'm trying to think of a better golf shot I've seen all year, or in a while, actually. That if you blade that, it either catches lip of the bunker or it's in the street. You chunk it, which is what I thought the plan was, to just try and get it to the front of the green, the struggle for 4. But it never crossed her mind to do either of those. Just pick it nice and shallow off that downhill lie. And she's perfectly hole high. That's the best shot I've seen in a while. Yeah. And it's 40 feet from the hole. That's telling you something.
Mm-hmm. Just, I think, unusually aggressive in this situation, but it seems to be NASA's style, and she's sticking with it.
Yeah, when you focus on the process and not the outcome, that's how you're supposed to play, I guess. Slightly back uphill, very low, definitely into a little breeze. Tiny bit of movement to the right.
Not going to move right with that pace.
It actually moved a little left the whole way.
Yep. So as good as the previous shot was, that putt not her best. So we remind you, get connected with the LPGA on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. So back edge here for Hannah Green, and birdie try coming up.
Improbable that it goes in, but if it does, it could get tighter.
Trying to create some drama here, Jerry?
Nah, well, sure. Just thinking of the possibilities.
You are correct. A lot can happen this stretch.
Well, this is one you don't expect to make. She's missed the ones she probably would have expected to make the last few holes. Kind of frees you up to put a better stroke on it, and that was just a bad read. Same thing, that thing worked toward the back of the green once it got halfway there.
Maybe what they say, everything breaks away from the Hollywood sign, Jerry. That one just fooled him a little bit.
So how long is this next one for Nasa?
Green's at about eye level from a spectator standpoint over golfer's left. I don't know. Your guess is better than mine. Probably 8 feet, looks like.
Yeah, looks like it's 8 to 10 feet probably here, Jerry. Just definitely not the mistake she wanted to make at this moment, especially after her second shot, her miraculous second shot.
Yeah.
But needs to just refocus right here and put a good stroke on it.
She has had three putts coming into today.
Think back to that putt she made on 6 for bogey. Normally you don't celebrate any kind of bogey, but that was really a big time putt. I mean, a lot of these. She is just not going to give this thing away.
Wow.
So solid. Just mentally tough. Really meant a lot of mental strength there. Refocusing. And just not giving anything back. Not giving Hannah an inch.
Nope. All pars since the 8. That's all she needs right now.
It's got to be a little demoralizing, too, for Hannah. Every time she thinks she might get a cheap one, it doesn't happen.
They leave as they entered the 14th. Up by 5 at 14 under par, and you mentioned it. I mean, it was right out of the gate. Look at this putt. Again, you think, okay, I need to get this close. Start with a par. That's fine. No.
She's seeing the line exceptionally well. She's got the pace nearly dialed in. That one on the last hole was a little bit of a blip, but I mean, look at the perfect pace on this putt on 5. It's almost the more break that's in the putt, Terry, the better she sees it.
Yeah. And here's one I just talked about for bogey at 6. He was well right off the tee, had some tree trouble, played short, got it there, made that, and this one for par at 14. That's a pretty good recipe for a 5-shot lead.
And I mean, that's just today. Think back to the closing hole 7, 8, 9 for her on Friday. She made a few really long putts yesterday as well. She just is very, very confident with her putting this week, and it's been turning into a dominating performance.
Up to the green at the 15th, Jin Young Ko. Oh, wow.
That putt just doesn't break, Tom. Just kind of like 14. It hangs out a little bit right. Players expecting it to break.
Well, this is an important hole here for Hannah Green. Got to try and make an eagle.
She's driving it so well. Breeze helping a little from the left. That's going to end up on the right edge, maybe.
Leaking, isn't it?
Depends on the bounce. Oh, good bounce.
Yeah. And we'll be able to take a look at our top tracer technology for the drive of Nasa Hataoka.
Hit nicely left center of the fairway. If it doesn't get too big a bounce.
This was the hole where she got lucky yesterday, drove it left in the bunker. Could have gone out of bounds. trouble today for Hataoka with a 5-shot lead here. Hannah Green needs to try and push, make something happen over the closing stages.
Today's coverage is brought to you by Leading Digital Dentistry, DIO Implant, by Volunteers of America, and by Skechers Go Golf, comfort-driven styles worn by Brooke Henderson. Number 6 on the LPGA Tour, Nasa Hataoka started the day with a 4-shot lead. Morgan, you've talked about how at times it can be difficult to play with a large lead. She's made it look easy today.
He has made it look exceptionally easy. I mean, I'd say even this year, think about Scotty Scheffler playing with a big lead, right. Jennifer Kupcho playing with the big lead. What we've seen, it's not that easy to do. But Nasa has just had the mindset, how many birdies can I make out here? How can I continue to play the way that I've been playing all week? Because it's clearly been working. Why should I do anything different?
Back of your mind, though, you're like, okay, just fairways and greens at this point. Just make pars. Don't do anything that's going to cost me the golf tournament. But she has continued to play the way she was for 3.5 days. Up at 16, Minjee Lee to get it to 7 under. So in a share of 4th right now, back-to-back birdies. Difficult par 4 17th next. Can be. Back to 15.
And the final pairing, just walking down this par 5. It's been a good week for Hannah Green, regardless of whether she is able to close this gap in the end of the tournament. But she's a player with multiple wins, and I think with the work that she's been doing away from the golf course, worked hard on her fitness over the last couple of off seasons, and as you mentioned earlier, Morgan, the travel back to Australia is so much easier for Hannah. She loves going home. She loves spending time back there, and that makes a big difference for her to feel more comfortable when she's on the LPGA, knowing she can just pop home, and that hasn't been the case for the last couple of years because of COVID.
Tee at 18, Celine Boutier, 6 under, share of 7th place. Good round today. Normally the 10th hole for the members here. Stayed up on the bank.
This is going to show us how challenging this 18th green can be. If you miss by just a little bit, it's a very narrow margin.
Looking down on the 15th green where Heiji Kang has a birdie putt.
Paige had a chance to go for it, but decided to lay up. And I actually think it's quite sensible for her. It would have been a bit of a dicey number in terms of holding the green, keeping it from going over the backs. And I think in the position that she's in, where where every dollar really counts for her, I think that was a smart and wise play.
She's been so much better tee to green today, as that one just runs a little bit far by. And this week, compared to the season, she's inside top 10 for greens in regulation this week. She's 144th in that statistical category on the LPGA Tour in 2022. So she's kind of found something in her game this week, and it's a pretty feel-good story right now for a player that has made just $8,900 so far in 2022 on the LPGA. Needs to take care of this one, though.
Yeah, that first one got a little bit away from her. I know it doesn't seem like much, but I keep going back to it, but I think in Hawaii, those first 2 rounds, she really looked to be confident and in control of her game, and I really do believe that a player always pulls on something like that.
Yeah, she was 68-70 over the first 2 days, fell away over the weekend, 78-74, but tied for 41st, her only cut made in 2022. Now, Hannah Green going for it in 2 here.
171 to the front, in line with the flagstick. Well, the front of the green is that line. 180 to the hole, only about 5 yards behind it. She's going with 6 iron. The plan is most likely 15, 20 feet right. Give yourself more green with which to work.
Asking for it to go. Needs to sit down a little bit now. There is a bit of a backstop, so that should come back slightly. Okay, she'll have a chance for eagle. Now NASA.
Only 165. In the crosswalk, she could have taken relief. Would have cost her about 5 yards. It's a nice lie. Going with 7 iron. I can promise you, her target's right of the flagstick, probably 30 feet. Exactly where she started. Little baby draw.
Yeah, don't go too far. That's up on the upper level, but she can afford to just play safe golf, you would think, coming home here with that 5-shot lead.
Short walk from that green to the tee at 16 in B Park.
He's been playing fairly steady today. She likes this golf course. Because she doesn't hit the ball quite as far, she can still get the ball round here quite comfortably. That'll do, down the left side.
Reaction doesn't always tell the story, does it?
Yeah, she definitely missed that a little left of what she was hoping for, but got a nice bounce, got away with it.
So this, the 9th event of the season, 34 in all. Finishes up Naples, CME. Palos Verdes head down PV next week, and Cognizant Founders Cup after that. Make a whole LPGA match play, and then the Women's U.S. Open, Pine Needles this year. Great venues for the major championships this year too, including Muirfield. Brilliant day, best day of the week weather-wise. Finally, the weather that we expect in LA. Temperature in the 80s. Comfortable though with the breeze. Love how greens, the old school golf courses, greens, and then you just walk to the next tee. It's right there. This is what Celine Boutier is dealing with at 18 now, though.
So severe. Look at how severe that downslope is that she's on. I think she's fortunate to just be in the rough. She's able to slide the club just enough under the ball, use her right hand to release it. But she went right underneath it.
Wow.
And it can happen.
You ever done that?
I would have to imagine I have.
You've forgotten on purpose.
Shockingly, it doesn't stand out. Usually
right.
As golfers, we seem to remember our bad shots pretty well. But, I mean, yes, it happens. It's part of the game, and it was just sitting up in that Bermuda rough a little bit too good, and Now she's got to just try and get this on the green.
Then you make sure you don't do it the next time.
It's such a hard hole, and that's where we say if you hit a good shot, you get rewarded, but if you miss, you can be heavily penalized out here. And you can see how the face almost matches the slope and just goes right underneath it.
I mean, that ball didn't move until then.
Until it just settled into the divot almost.
Right. For fourth.
That's not an easy shot she's got right here either.
Darn near made it. And that's golf. Going to be a 5 in the end.
Along with Jin Young Ko's 8 at 17 yesterday. It just shows you there are spots here coming home where you can come unstuck. It doesn't look like that's going to happen to Nasa Hataoka, but it didn't look like it was going to happen to Jin Young Ko yesterday. And it didn't look like it was going to happen to Celine Boutier either today. Eagle putt here for Nasa.
Down that slope from the top tier, which will turn it left, and then it's downhill the hole from there, so it will decelerate very slowly. Touch is going to be tested.
She make it?
Yep.
Oh, she did! Almost putting the icing on the cake. That is quite something. Well, this putter is red hot.
What an incredible performance she is putting together. This was carrying some pace, but I mean, another beautiful stroke. Add that to the amazing length of putts she's already made this week.
Wow. Yeah, the little fist pump. That's going to make the job even more enjoyable coming home. Can afford a few mistakes by the looks of things. Now, Hannah Green's going to think, what? There's nothing I could do today. That's got to be what she's thinking.
No, the only question I think in her mind is who's closest to me for second right now, because this is impossible to keep up with. Very straight looking putt from here.
Yeah, and the answer, Jerry, is Inby is one back, so a birdie or an eagle here would help give her a little cushion.
It's going to be a birdie for Hannah Green, so she'll move to 10 under par. And looking like she's going to have second in her sights, very much so.
Tom, that sound you heard was the door closing. Kang's second at 16.
This from 127, uphill wind of the left.
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Important tournament for her. So that final pairing, that short walk from 15 to the tee at 16. Talk about this place, been around since 1919. Norman Macbeth, the designer. He grew up, learned the game, Royal Lytham and St. Anne's, and kind of has that feel, Wilshire Country Club. Certainly got to think your way around Shopmakers Golf Course, and this player has been by far the best over the course of 4 days.
Well, everything in her golf swing is so well timed. People at the corner where the players almost hit directly over that roped corner, but trying to get them to hold still. But yeah, the swing is on plane, the swing is synced up this week, and the putter is magical. That's a deadly combination.
She's working on using a little bit more body turn, and it's definitely has her arms and her body synced up just perfectly.
Mm-hmm. Another beauty.
Hannah Green makes birdie, drops a shot. Okay.
She even said it yesterday. She said, I need to go out and hopefully make some putts and maybe put a little pressure on Nasa, because she admitted Nasa's playing so very well. This one's a little right of Nasa's, but should be just fine.
Playing first, the approach, elevated green. So, what a day, what a tournament for Nasa Hataoka. Another look at that eagle putt at 15. Just, again, fairways, greens, just get it close. We'll make pars. Don't think so. What hole was it that Judy used? To get it to 9 under.
She was close enough to those little sprinkle hairs to get relief so she could putt it.
Get in the hole.
Tried to turn enough. She will stay at 8 under in third place all by herself.
This is a really good second shot at 17 for Chella Choi.
It's one of the closest we've seen all week, Tom.
It's going to be a birdie for Choi. So she eagled 15, birdied 17. Good finish. That's picking up some cash late in the week.
16, Heiji Kang, this for birdie.
Let's see if she can put a good stroke on this one, accelerate through.
Well, look ahead to next week. Keep it right in the LA area. The inaugural Palos Verdes Championship presented by Bank of America. Started all Thursday at 6:30 Eastern here on Golf Channel.
10 o'clock.
King did make her par at 16 after that miss that we saw. Final pairing getting set. Hannah Green first.
Getting into that setting sun almost. A little different angle here, but still 144 yards of that tucked right hole location over the bunker. Breeze in, mostly from the left. I don't think she's going to try and force one close here.
You'd have to think Hannah's mindset's changed a little bit, Jerry.
Yeah, I think so. Smart shot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Up 1 to 17.
And trying to get her own back today, but this is not helping. In a horrible lie on the left.
Aimed well to the right, Tom.
And barely cleared the barranca. Yesterday was 2 back of the lead, came to 17 and made an 8. Let's go to 16.
Mindset hasn't changed at all for this player, Hataoka.
What's that?
Big gust.
It's still doing the same thing. Southwest is right here, doing just what we talked about. Hurting off the left. It's a lot of cross in it, so you're good with that.
This is an 8-iron, similar distance into the breeze before, where she hit 9 and came up short. Almost at, well, actually every time. So going with a smooth 8, 133 up the hill. And taking it just left of the flagstick. Looks like plenty.
I mean, there's not a whole lot to say to that, Jerry. She's just putting on a clinic. Fantastic performance.
This tee shot at 17 is just a really difficult one.
It is downwind off the right, and Morgan's described it perfectly. The fairway just cambers down to the right very quickly, and you can run through on the left very quickly as well. It requires quite a bit of precision.
Seems pretty good, doesn't it?
Yep.
Talked about that tree there and the distance being a good line all week, and it's going to work out okay. MB should be a little bit shorter than Heiji Kang off the tee, Karen.
Just a bit, not a huge amount, maybe 5 yards or so, if that. But Imbi's very strategic with her placements of her tee shot in terms of maximizing the angles. So she gets a little bit more out of her tee shots than Heiji has been getting in terms of clubs into the green because of those angles. Although this one's more left.
Yeah, and that rough, as we saw from Jin Young Ko, is thickened up down there, but it seemed like it was sitting up. They topped the rough off last week and haven't touched it so far this week. This is now the 3rd shot for Jin Young Ko. Yesterday's 8 was the worst score that she'd ever made on any hole in an LPGA event, and the first time she'd ever made a quadruple bogey on a hole in an LPGA event. Chance to save par. It's kind of been a 24-hour period to forget for Jin Young Ko, and this was where it all went wrong, trying to play this shot, Morgan, out of the barranca.
Yeah, just a really aggressive play. I talked to her caddy, Dave Brooker, earlier today and asked him about this situation, and he said he was kicking himself a little bit because she never hits it into trouble. She doesn't know how to hit some of these recovery shots, and I definitely think the smart play would have been to drop from about 80 yards. Probably the worst she's going to make from there is a double bogey, but you know, her caddy told her last night that so many number ones in the world that she can talk to have had meltdowns at certain points in their career. You think of Rory, you think of Norman, and Dave said that he'd had some front row seats to Lorena at times, and it's just part of the game. And I think certainly that ending that way yesterday affected the way she played today. I'm sure she and her team really agonized over that all night, and she's playing great. It's gonna happen. The first time in 4 years she's had an 8 on a hole in her entire LPGA career. It's truly, I mean, it was shocking for us to watch, but those things happen in the game of golf.
Started with a bogey today. Jin Young Ko did that birdie try left short and a green. Keep it here for Nasa Hataoka now. You know, think about yesterday too for Nasa Hataoka. She's already a proven winner. She's won 5 times out here. She's won 6 times in Japan. But you're in that group. You share the lead with the #1 player in the world. Everybody's focusing on Jin Young Ko, and she's making putts, taking control of the golf tournament, and you end up at the end of the day 5 shots better. It's got to be a boost beyond just having the lead going into the final round.
Well, definitely. I think everybody was quite surprised. Even I talked to Hannah about it. I talked to Greg Johnson, Nasa's caddy, and he said that he almost pulled her off the shot on 18 because he felt like she was just not quite settled because of how quickly everything happened there on the 17th hole, and she hit one of the poorest shots of the day into 18 off the tee, but was able to settle herself down and with a great up and down. But it was distracting for everybody out there. But Nasa ended up going to sleep with a 4-shot lead and came out ready to play today.
This one going in, Jerry?
No, of course. A little quick, but sure. You know, we've said for months now that when Jin Young Ko's playing her best, she is truly unbeatable. Nasa's been unbeatable this week. Oh,
shocking.
It's just rolling like it's on a pool table, the way she's rolling the ball. And that's not happening for everybody.
So we don't talk about that very often on Poana greens, Jerry. We usually mention the opposite. It's tough to keep the ball on line. Tends to wobble a little bit, especially late in the day as the Poana grows.
So this for par.
And the big picture for Hannah right now, second place. Huge. You know, I learned something new about NASA this week. We've all known why her parents named her NASA after, of course, the American Space Agency, NASA, to hopefully someday her parents wanted her to reach for the stars. But I didn't know that along with the respectful nature of Japanese culture, her mother actually visited the American Embassy in Japan just to see if it was okay that they named her NASA. She's, well, I'm not going to use any bad puns right now, but I think that name's working out well.
You've used them all up today already?
Yeah, well, no. Not yet. There's time.
Okay. Another easy par. So that long stretch of pars, but just begins to tell the story because she had some long putts to make those pars too, and then the eagle at 15.
Jin Young Ko to try and salvage a par at 17. And that fooled her a little bit.
Chella Choi's had a good stretch coming to the clubhouse. This is her second at 18. No gimme for par.
Inby Park just waiting for the green to clear. And Jin Young Ko up on that green. Just tapping in her bogey, we hope.
You know, there is something, Tom, talk about learning from your mistakes. I think that Jin Young certainly learned a lot from that experience yesterday.
Yeah.
And really showed a lot of mental fortitude finishing on 18 with the birdie. Shows how mentally tough she is. Definitely didn't have her best stuff either yesterday really or today, but she showed what she's capable of many times this season and certainly in the second round this week.
Now Inby Park.
She's got 203, Tom. The ball is actually suspended, even though there's grass behind it. The ball is actually up in the air. The wind is off the right. If she gets this one turning over to the left, it might kind of help it a bit. This looked like it knuckled, so expect it to chase.
You don't want to go too far on that line because you'll end up with some tree trouble with those palm trees, but it's going to be fine. That's the safe place to miss it, short right. Otherwise, it's just danger everywhere with that second at 17, which is the 18th hole for the members. If you're ever lucky enough to come and play Wilshire, you'll play this as the closing hole, and you'd play the tournament 18th as the 10th. Now, Hiji Kang.
This from 180, using the 6-iron. It's quite a low ball flight. Trying to keep that one down. Good looking shot though.
Yeah. You don't want to go too far by. You're just going to have that awkward length putt. Get the speed right. Now, Nasa back on the tee.
Pretty good wind blowing almost straight across the fairway from the right. I'm going to try and hug that right side of the fairway, which he doesn't need to do. You almost need to work it against that breeze because there are some rather sizable trees right off the tee. Yep, that's good. Might, with a big bounce, run through the fairway on that line.
Down towards the 18th green.
Where this is taking place. Chella Choi for par. Would have been a really good up and down from the bunker back to the 17th tee.
And Hannah Green.
That is working back up against that breeze, and that is going to catch just the right side of the fairway. Huge slope down from there. Oh, lands just on the flat, though.
It's okay though, Jerry?
Looks it from the tee, yes.
Okay. Nasa Hataoka, 6-shot lead here at the DIO Implant LA Open. It's been an incredible performance, there's no doubt about it, trying to win for the 6th time out here on the LPGA Tour. 1.5 holes to go. Just a moment ago, Heiji Kang for a birdie at 17. Just jumped a little bit there through the fringe. Take some speed off it. Let's go up to the 18th.
Lilia Vu, 157 this last hole. Crowd's starting to gather up on the hill in front of the clubhouse. Oh, what a kick. One way to play it. Chance for birdie to finish, 17.
Imby, this for par.
It is. She tried to play a little runny chip shot and just didn't give it enough pop to get through the fairway grass. Little down, moving to the left from here.
It's going to be big for a couple of other players. Heiji Kang being one of them. So if she makes her putt, they'll all be tied at 7 under par with Minjee Lee and Madeline Sagström in a tie for third. Will equal Heiji's best finish if she stays in that third spot. It needs to take care of this one. There have been a few dodgy short putts for Heiji on this, well, since we've been watching, Karen.
It's been very up and down. She's made some really good ones, but she's also, as you were saying, just been a little bit iffy at times. But it definitely is a. You can feel a little bit more intensity on this 17th green because of the proximity to the clubhouse and the spectators watching from around that clubhouse. It's a very busy part of the course.
Oh.
Just looked up on that one. Just a little shove.
What a shame. What a shame. Tied for third 4 times in her career, going all the way back to 2012. It's her 14th season on the tour. And that's going to drop her out of a tie for third. Take a look back down that 17th. You can see how much the barranca just comes into play, snaking its way around this fairway. Now Hannah Green.
192 actual yardage. Feels like there's a little help in that wind from the right. I believe that's a 5-iron. That was hit nicely. Very nicely.
It's going to run back to where Heiji Kang putted from just a little earlier, maybe slightly shorter putt. Safety first here for Nasa, but that hasn't really been the strategy today, so we'll see what happens.
A little bit of a blind.
Yeah, this pin is 5 from the right. If it comes down at it, that's fine. I don't know if you're going to hit a hole that's not going to move it much. I would go between the trees. You agree? Okay.
Going with 7-iron. 160 is the actual yardage to the hole. Just a huge drive. Got a lot of roll too. Hard to really hold one up against that breeze off the side hill lie like this.
That's how close she is to the 18th. It gives you a great sense of the geography.
This was more aggressive than she planned. Much more. But it works.
Yeah, it's going to be fine. Yeah, I thought she'd go out to the right there. But took it on.
Now, the second for Jin Young Ko at 18, not on that bank. Remember, Celine Boutier was at a downhill lie. This one, a flat part or flatter part of the area.
This is a much more reasonable chip here with Jin Young's touch. Should be able to get this close.
And the sprinkler, the drain right there, so she got relief from that, but ran that by. So
yeah, that came out way low, much lower than she wanted it to.
Continues to be a tough day for Jin Young Ko as they finish up. Great vantage point there, that clubhouse there. When you're on the veranda, you can see the play at 15, on 17, and on 18, the finishing hole for the tournament. It's got to be a maybe you don't relax at this point. I understand you're still playing the golf tournament, try to close it out, but enjoyable last couple of holes for Nasa Hataoka.
Yeah, a lot of players that I've talked to that have been in that position with having a large lead have said that's actually the most nervous they've ever been in their career is having a large lead. And I'm sure Nasa maybe at this point, having cleared the barranca on 17, that would be an opportunity where maybe you can relax a little bit because 17 is such a tough hole. But there's just a little bit of that mentality. I don't want to screw it up. I'm
sure.
expected to win. But I think, once she gets that ball on the green on the 18th hole, that's when she can finally let out a sigh of relief. But she has put on just an incredible performance here so far all week. I mean, has she made 500 feet of putts this week? It's been really, really impressive. And coming out today after sleeping on a 4-shot lead and just continuing to mount that lead. It's been incredible around a very challenging golf course where you wouldn't necessarily think that her aggressive style of play would work out.
It certainly can get you in a lot of trouble here. And today she's just kept playing that way, and it's worked out. Up by 6. Jin Young Ko finishing up. She hopes with this putt. What does she take from this week and the experience yesterday?
You know, I think it might take her a little bit of time to really figure out what she will have learned from yesterday, but definitely came out flat today after that. And, you know, she's still the #1 player in the world. She knows it's in there, just needs to realize that that was a poor decision and they happen, and move on from it and not dwell, put it in her rearview mirror as fast as possible.
Lilia Vu, and her experience, 24-year-old, played at UCLA, second year on the LPGA Tour, and here in the final day of a tournament, playing together with the #1 player in the world, who's won 13 times.
And she played on tour a little bit in 2019. I believe that was her rookie season, and didn't play all of that well. And coming out strong here this year, played really well in Carlsbad, and here this week, just change of a mindset for her. It's working out really nicely.
Quickly go over to the 17th to check in with the leader, Hataoka.
Very flat putt here, all things considered.
Vu, share of 13th right now. Even better. Finish with that birdie. So a top 10 at the moment. Share of 10th place for Lilia Vu.
Back at the 17th, Hannah Green has a cushion as well for the 2nd place spot. So this is for birdie to get it to 11 under. So you've got 2 players that can kind of enjoy themselves walking up the 18th. Okay. Both pretty satisfied with the way that they've played. Nasa more so than Hannah Green for obvious reasons, but it's been a good performance by 2 players who are certainly some of the best from their respective countries, if not the best. Well, at the beginning of the day, talked about what Nasa needed to do and how much she was in control of this tournament depending on the way that she played. Other players chasing needed to go low, maybe even break the tournament record, Jerry. And Hataoka is going to shoot only a couple off that tournament record herself. So it just shows you when she's on, she's really on.
I think she extinguished their hopes early. 3 under through the first 5 holes. Hasn't been much doubt since.
Yep. Okay. Good one. And they can walk up the stairs to the 18th tee, and there will be a really good atmosphere there. And I think it's a full credit to everyone here at Wilshire Country Club, the way they've supported the LPGA, and look forward to the players coming back each year, as they will do over the next couple of years, we believe, hopefully more, at least the next few years.
Members here love having the LPGA in town, and those in charge of Wilshire Country Club as well. 2018 was the first year for this event. First time for the LPGA in LA since 2011. Maury Jutanagar had really an emotional win. Her sister was there to greet her at the green at 18. Then Minjee Lee in 2019, and Brooke Henderson last time around 2020 because of the pandemic. There was no tournament held. Brooke didn't make the weekend this time, but Nasa Hataoka going to join that list of winners in Los Angeles. Up by 6. Yeah, as you said, 5 under on the round here, Tom. Pretty special Sunday in LA for her. Lilia Vu just finishing up, so a share of 10th after the 70. Struggles at 18 for Celine Boutier, but good 4 days of play. Going to keep it in LA, or at least the area too. Palos Verdes next week, inaugural event, about 25 miles from where we are, down near the coast. The final pairing made their way up to that tee at 18 as everybody on the golf course now up on the hill, in the clubhouse, down near the green. Inbee Park, A.G. Kang. The pairing ahead of that final one.
Yeah, there's a lot of spectators gathered around this green, creating a nice little buzz around here. Both players hit decent shots in here with 7 irons, and Page's putt is back up the green. When you leave the flag in, you get a good little perspective on the distance. The hole is in the shadow.
So 71 even par in the final round. Good week for A.G. Kang. Important week, 6 under. Tied for 6th.
And I think in some respects too, Terry, for Inbee as well, this has been an important week. She's been a little bit sort of lackluster so far this season, and maybe this is just exactly what she needed to kind of kickstart the Inbee that we know.
Karen, she's talked about just not feeling like she's making enough putts, but we saw quite a few go in this week.
It's been a big difference for her this week for sure. All about that tempo for her, she says.
A little firm with the pace there. Inbee earlier in the week was talking about how much she loves playing in this event too, staying in Koreatown, which is about a mile away from here. Said it really feels like home.
Yeah, a lot of the players in the field talking about almost nearly feeling like they're in Seoul.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the really cool things about being here, Terry, is just the variety and selection of places to go and eat, and you can select, you have anything you want. Whatever you fancy, you can find here in LA.
You had a good week, did you?
I certainly have. It's been fun. I'm looking
Good.
forward to another one next week too.
A few things to do in LA. Good. I'm glad.
Definitely. And then when you have weather like this, it's pretty perfect. Sunday traffic's also good too.
It's got to bring up traffic. You're
Sorry.
in LA, I know.
This is a tester here for Inbee though. Very proud, wants to finish on a good note.
One under, 7 under overall for Inbee Park. He's had a couple of top 5 finishes here, and now Inbee a share of 3rd, so add another one to the list. So the stage is clear. It's that final pairing, and I guess one more thing on the line here: $100,000 prize for a hole-in-one, courtesy of CBB Bank. Go ahead and do that, Nasa.
No question. 8 irons, the club of choice, 145 to get to the green, a little downwind, downhill, in line with the flagstick, 157 hole. And rare is the times you get the final pairing playing the last hole with hardly any pressure at all. Hannah could check out the scoreboard and see that she's got second comfortably.
Starting with the edge. No, don't do that.
Looks like it's on a little bit of the downslope too, Terry. Won't be easy, but she's got quite a cushion.
Yeah. As Jerry said, so does Hannah for second place.
Just right of it.
Clear by 3.
Gotta go with one more club. And just, I guess, maybe 3/4 7 iron here. Good line. Will it stop?
Eventually to the back edge. Got to be some nice walk up to the green. The announcement, the walk up to the green or near the green at least at 18 for this final pairing. Nasa Hataoka about to close out her 6th win on the LPGA Tour. This one's impressive. I mean, not just the margin, but watching her for 4 days on this golf course do what she's done.
Yeah, the first 2 days when it was very windy, she was out 4 under and then 3 under. Another 3 under yesterday, and the best round of the week, 5 under so far today. Just plodding along, making birdies, making Wilshire look a lot easier than it is.
16 under right now. If she makes par here, she would tie the 72-hole tournament record set by Brooke Henderson. Largest margin of victory this year on tour. 3 shots by Danielle Kang in the opener. So you'd have that as well. Did you get a look at this, Jerry?
Yeah, she makes par here. She's even more of a magician than she showed us back at 14. That is a downhill lie, a very tight lie, short shot. Getting it on the green actually would be a good shot, but after what I've seen from her today around the greens, I'm not going to put it past her. It's going to be really tough to just loft this enough without hitting it too hard.
She's making some big swings there, Jerry. She's almost going to hit a little flop shot.
As if she needed one more challenge to prove to us just how good she's playing. A little heavy, but plenty good.
I think she can relax now, Terry.
I think once that, yeah. Well, that's what Karen said during, she said, look, I was up 5 trying to close out a major until the ball is on the green at 18. You don't relax. It is now. And Hannah Green, who tried to keep pace with Nasa Hataoka, just couldn't today. Close it out with a birdie. It might. Disappointing not winning, but got to take a lot of positive things from this week. Hannah Green.
Yeah, all in all, a great week from Hannah, and there's no question she hasn't lost this tournament. Nasa's won it by a landslide. And Hannah's got a lot of positives to take. We've got a busy part of the season coming up. You mentioned a few of the upcoming events. A really busy stretch. And so it's a lot of confidence for her to take through the heart of this season.
It's not like she played this final round over par or anything either. And that's a solid round of golf. 68 today, the par 71 golf course, and double figures 10 under to finish up Hannah Green in second. And now the stage entirely belongs to Nasa. And it is a runaway win in LA for Nasa Hataoka. And a statement at that. Winner of the 4th edition of the DIO Implant LA Open here at Wilshire Country Club. Her 6th win on the LPGA Tour. It's not like she played this final round over par or anything either. And that's a solid round of golf. 68 today, the par 71 golf course, and double figures 10 under to finish up Hannah Green in second. And now the stage entirely belongs to Nasa. And it is a runaway win in LA for Nasa Hataoka. And a statement at that. Winner of the 4th edition of the DIO Implant LA Open here at Wilshire Country Club. Her 6th win on the LPGA Tour.